Hello, my name is Adam Recklow, and I'm the instructional designer for the Title III STEM grant. Today you're going to learn how to make your syllabus more accessible. So what are the ways in which you can do that? Well, one, you can make your headers using header styles. Two, adding alternate text to images, hyperlinks, and tables. And three, adding a table of contents and page numbers to your document. So to begin, let's open the draft syllabus. So here is the draft syllabus, and the first header that is here is the course description. So to make that a header style, all you have to do is select the course description. So go over it like that. And you can choose here, or you can choose here at the top what type of heading style you want to give it. I'm going to give it heading 1. And there you go. You have a heading style. Now the reason this is important is because for students that use a screen reader, they can't differentiate text that is bolded, italicized from text that is not bolded or italicized. But it can differentiate between headers and body text. So if the document has the header style, then that informs a student that it is a header, but more importantly, it helps the student using the screen reader to then organize and structure the syllabus, which in turn helps them to navigate your syllabus much easier. So that's how you create a header using header styles. Okay, the second part of this training is adding alternate text to images, hyperlinks, and tables. So we have an image up here. Here's the image. All you have to do is right click and go to Format Picture. In the right here is the panel for how to format your picture. You want to choose Layout and Properties. And the second option underneath is Alternate Text. So just click there. And title, I'm going to give it a title of HCC Banner, and description, this is the HCC banner. And you don't have to save. Once you click out of it, it'll still be there when you click back on it again. Okay, so this is important again for students that have visual impairments and that are using a screen reader. If they're not able to see it, the screen reader will then use the alternate text to relay information to the student. This becomes very important in your courses when you have graphics or other images that you're using to kind of visualize the content. It's very helpful to use alternate text for that reason. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add alternate text to a hyperlink. So if we go down here, here's a link to the HCC homepage. And if you notice, when my caret is hovering over it, it says http hccfl.edu. So basically it just reiterates what the hyperlink is. When we change that, it's going to say what the description is of that hyperlink. So to do that, go to right click and then to edit hyperlink. Now it's not going to say alt text, instead it's going to say screen tip. So click on screen tip. And for hyperlinks, you want to kind of give it a little bit of context, because again, when you're thinking from the perspective of someone using a screen reader, it's just going to read the text off. Whereas you might see the text on the screen, it being blue and underlined, and automatically you know that it's a hyperlink. So to kind of give this a little bit of context, I'm going to put this link takes you to the HCC homepage. So there you go. And after you push OK, and if you notice, when I hover over it again, it says with the screen tip I gave it previously. This link takes you to the HCC homepage. So now a student that's using a screen reader we'll be able to identify that as an actual hyperlink. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is add alternate text to a table. So here we have a table for the grading system, and I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to right click and go to Table Properties. Now the tab all the way to the right is Alt Text. Now because this is a table, it has a lot more information in it, and you want to include all that information in your description. So first, the title is Grading System, and the description should be what those percentages are next to the grade. So I would just put, this is the grading system for the course, and then, oh, I pushed OK. Let me go back to that. And then you would want to put in here, okay, 90 to 100 is an A. Oh, let me fix that. 90 to 100 is an A, and so on and so on. So again, that informs a student that is not able to actually see the table what it entails, and that will make it more accessible to them. So push OK. And the last thing that we're going to do is add a table of contents and page numbers to the document. So to insert page numbers, we'll do that since that's pretty easy. Go to Insert, Page Number, and I'm going to insert a page number at the bottom of the page to the right. And so there's the page number. And then the next thing that we're going to do is add a table of contents, and you do that by clicking on References. And then to make sure that I have it where I want it to be below the Fall 2014 and above the instructor's name, so I'm going to click there and then click Table of Contents, and I'll just click the first automatic table. And if you notice, you see that the course description is the only thing that comes up. Well, right now that's the only element in the document that has a header style. Once you put more header styles in the document, it will automatically populate the table of contents. So putting a table of contents is pretty easy. And again, using a table of contents, using page numbers, helps the students that have visual impairments or using a screen reader to navigate your syllabus and to kind of visually see its structure and organization. So I want to show you what a finished product looks like. So let me show you this final syllabus. So what I did here was I included a cover page, and then I went into the actual syllabus, and here's the table of contents, page numbers. I have header 1s and header 2s here. I just want to show you here that when you put header 1s and header 2s, again, the table of contents will automatically identify that. So here you see the learning resources and then prerequisites and co-requisite. It's underneath. It's a little bit indented to show that it's underneath. So again, that tells the student and kind of frames to the student that this is a part of the learning resources. And that's something that's done automatically when you make the table of contents. When you put in your headers using the appropriate categories. So from header 1 to header 2 to header 3 and 4, if you align them in that way, then the table of contents will organize them properly. Okay? So the next thing, or the last thing that I wanted to show you was how to check for accessibility issues. And this is a really easy thing. So go to File, and then Check for Issues, and then Check Accessibility. And here to the right is the panel called the accessibility checker. And here we have some warnings for unclear hyperlink text, which we were able to do one, and because we did it, it's not showing up. But we have a few more that aren't complete. Then we have repeated blank characters, and these are just characters that show up that they're just blanks. You know, they have no meaning to them. For a person using the screen reader, it may come across as if might be something there. To kind of reduce the confusion, just take out all the blank characters that you have in your document. And then we have the table reader and the order. Something that you could do here was basically identify the header rows, the columns. Again, that would be able to make clear to the student that's using a screen reader to identify what the table entails. So today you learned how to make your syllabus more accessible by using header styles to make your headers, to add alternate text to images, hyperlinks, and tables, and also adding a table of contents and page numbers to make it more easy for your students to navigate through your syllabus. So I hope this was of some help to you, and I hope to see you at our next training that's hopefully coming soon. So thank you, and good luck with designing your new syllabus.